following Rangers and Hearts in Europe with all the reaction here on Independence Live.
Right, go then. Welcome back to Independent Live on our first night, a mix of motions tonight on Independent Live, as you can tell by Graham's face. No, it's not because he's almost me. Well, I hope it's not. Maybe, I don't know. So welcome back, and we're here until 11 o'clock. Get your comments coming in. Disappointing night for Hearts. Hearts get beat 2-0 off a high at home, and decent point for Rangers away from home as they went to Olympiacos and won each. That game finished. Get your comments coming in. We're here until 11 o'clock as always. Graham, I must console you in some kind of way, virtually. That must have been difficult to watch. I mean, if you Michael Stewart's egg in commentary, and I said it when I came on as well, that if you don't take your chances, you can't win. And Hearts had millions in the first half.
I'm so frustrated. I hate football, man. I'm so frustrated. That first half, I thought Hearts were brilliant. Started the game so well, had numerous chances. I mean, the first 2 minutes, Shankland should score, but he can't buy a goal just now. You know, last season he buries that, but he's hit it straight to the keeper. Had another chance after that, Frankie Kent with a header. We were brilliant first half. I thought we pressed really well. We were all over them like a rash. We were playing some really good stuff. The one-touch stuff, they couldn't get anyone near us. I thought Boateng was brilliant. Benny was brilliant. The first half, I was really pleased, but we just didn't take our chances. And I did think that at some point in the second half, Heidenheim would come into the game and they would get chances, and they got 2 chances and they scored them both. I mean, that's clinical. It's so frustrating. We're sitting here. I mean, a 1-0 defeat would have been bad enough, but to lose 2-0 after a game like that I'm so frustrated. And it must be frustrating for Critchley, because I thought first half we were great. Played some really good stuff. We just couldn't quite get that goal ahead. I think if we get the first goal, the game totally changes. And then second half, once they get the goal, I think we go quite flat. The crowd goes really flat. The energy kind of saps out of it a little bit. I've seen that numerous times this season. But 2-0 is very, very harsh. But if you don't take your chances at this level, you ain't going to win games. And it's such a frustration. It'll be a frustration for Critchley. It'll be a frustration for the Hearts players. And they have to dust themselves down. But the one thing I would say is, coming out this game, we're sitting on 6 points. We've got 3 games to go. We can still qualify. You know, it's not over with by any means. And we've got another home game to come as well against the top 5 teams, so we can still qualify. But today it's a massive, massive frustration, because we should not have lost that.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, if you don't take your chances, you can't win the game. And it's a bit concerning, Graham, because last year we were saying that he should have been in the running for the Player of the Year, should have been in the Scotland squad. He's in the Scotland squad, doesn't get a game now, and they can't buy a goal at the moment. Shankland.
No, I know. And Robbie says, I need to ask where you lay with Shankland. He clearly isn't getting goals and seems low on confidence. Do you drop him? The worry that I think we've got is the fact we don't have anyone else that can play up there. You're not going to play James Wilson at 17 on his own up front. Kenny Vargas is a bit erratic at times. And then you've got Liam Boyce. Liam Boyce isn't highly rated. So you're going to have to start Shankland. But the thing I would say about Shankland tonight, his overall game is actually quite good. Yes, he missed a glorious chance in the first half, but he was linking the play up, he was holding it up, he was laying it off. His overall game was really good. But you can tell there's a frustration with Shankland just now that things are not going in for him. Last season, if he had half the chances that he's had this season already, last season he scored them. This season he's snatching at stuff. You can see in the second half as well, I think the score was 1-0 at the time, and he has a shot from outside the box that he lashes at over the bar. He's getting frustrated, and you can see that, but we can't afford to drop him because there's nobody else to step in. And Michael Stewart, I don't often agree with him, but I've said the same thing that he said during commentary. why Hearts did not sign another striker in the summer is baffling to me, because it was pretty clear we needed one. Because if Shankland was off form or if he was sold with nobody else, so that for me was on Stephen Naismith. He should have signed a striker. He didn't. We have to keep playing Shankland because there's no other option. It's simple as that. But his overall game tonight was good. He's just not scoring.
I don't think you can afford going into the next 3 games and not play Shankland, because you've got Celtic, Aberdeen, and Rangers coming up on Sunday at Ibrox. You can't afford to go to Ibrox and not play him.
Yeah, and I mean, the next 3 games are very, very difficult. You know, going to Ibrox, we've not won there in the Premiership since 2012, playing a Celtic side in at Tynecastle that are rampant. Aberdeen have had a really good season. It's 3 very, very big games. I think when we see where Hearts are after these 3 games, I'm not confident in any of them. But the performance tonight was good, and the performance against Ammonia was good. The performance against St Mirren was good. There have been signs under Critchley that we have improved.
Mm-hmm.
Where that first half, as Robbie said, was really good. I quite enjoyed it, but we just didn't take our chances. And that's the frustration here tonight. We had so many chances first half, didn't take them. And my worry always was at half time that, you know, they will come back into the game and they get a goal out of nothing, really. It's a really good run down the left-hand side. Great crossing and good header, and it just saps the energy out of Hearts, I think. I think we responded all right. After about 10 minutes, I thought we were fine after that. But again, it's just that lack of a killer instinct in front of goal. And I mean, you could tell that Benny was knackered. He went off. I thought Boateng was brilliant today. But it's so frustrating because I should be sitting here talking about a really good win for Hearts, and instead it's a defeat. It's so frustrating. We did a lot of good things in that first half, but second half, we just lost our way, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, I know. I know you're thinking to yourself, why is this game not played in 45 minutes? Because if it was 45 minutes and you didn't play a second half, you would get a point out of the game, obviously. But anyway, but looking back at the first half, Graham, I know you don't want to pick the bones out of it because you get beat 2-0, but I mean, there was positive signs there for Hearts, like Shankland had a few shots at goal, Frankie Kent. I think that the move of the first half for me was the ball from Forrest into Spittle, and he should have done better.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. I think he maybe takes a bit too many touches. I think he maybe should hit it first time. But it's decent play from the defender. But some of the football Hearts played in that first half was really good. I was actually enjoying watching us. It's been a while since I've said that. Well, the Ammonia game was good as well. We were 2-0 up in that game. But we played some really good stuff in the first half. Some really good one-touch stuff, some intricate one-touch passing. And I thought, yeah, this is good. You know, I can see already, after such a short space of time, an identity under Critchley. And then it fell apart second half. But the first half, I thought, we were brilliant. We just didn't have that killer touch. I was sitting at half-time quite happy, quite pleased with the performance. But you've got to take your chances, and we didn't do it. And that's the biggest frustration for me. We didn't take our chances first half. Because honestly, we should have been at least 2 or 3 up first half, and the game's done.
We speak about Craig Gordon being a brilliant servant to Scotland and Hearts as well, and has, to be honest with you, and he's in the Scotland squad as well. But you've got to ask yourself, why did he come out a goal in the first half? Because you could go in and 1-0 down at half time.
Yeah, I think it's something a lot of goalkeepers do. They come out in the kind of heat of the moment. I think he eventually does all right in the end. It doesn't cost us. But, I mean, I've said numerous times I love Craig Gordon. I think it's a bit harsh on Zander Clark that he's not getting more game time. But to be fair to Craig Gordon, he has been very good recently. And I think I've said before about the fact that coming back from a double leg break at any age is brilliant. But to come back at his age and still be playing and still be in the Scotland squad, I think is fantastic. There was nothing to do about the 2 goals tonight. He can't be faulted for that, but I'm just so frustrated because there was a lot of good things in that first half, but I can't believe we're sitting here on the back of a 2-0 defeat because we should not have lost that game. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, especially at home as well. You know, Danga, I thought he played okay, but it was a bit quiet tonight for me.
Yeah, I really like Jan Danda, and I've said numerous times I'm delighted we signed him. I don't think his form recently has been great. It was no surprise he got taken off today. I didn't think he was really involved in the game a lot. Couldn't really get on the ball and make things happen. Whereas you look at the likes of Blair Spittle, I thought Spittle was really good, especially first half. But Danda just seems to be lacking something just now. Whether it's the position he's playing, I don't know. His work rate was fine. No issue with that at all. The work rate of everybody was fine tonight. But it's just that bit of creativity that I'm looking for from Danda. It just wasn't there tonight.
Leo saying on YouTube, thanks for watching, Leo. What do you think is happening, or what do you think is going to happen on Sunday? It's going to be a quite interesting game because like Rangers picked up a decent point tonight away from home. Obviously, Hearts get beat 2-0, but I thought that the performance was there from Hearts. So it's going to be it's going to be a very good, interesting game anyway, no matter if Rangers and Hearts win Europe this week. But it's going to be quite interesting, and also I thought, like, obviously we're going and speak about the Rangers game later on, but I thought the Rangers performance was quite decent tonight. I don't know if that's because Tavernier was a sub and he came on by 10 minutes to go. I don't know, but yeah, Sunday's game, Graham, it's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, my Rangers have not been great this season. I don't think anyone can doubt that. But our record at Ibrox is pitiful. Like, we've not won there since 2000. I think it was we've not won there in the Premier League since 2012. But it was 2014 our last win there in the Championship. Our record at Ibrox is terrible. And there's been numerous times where I've thought we can go to Ibrox and have a real goal.
I know that you're about 5 minutes away from beating them, Graham.
Yeah. But there was other games as well where I thought we've got a real chance. We've got beat 5-0. So I'm not confident going to Ibrox because our record is so poor. But there have been signs under Critchlow that I can see what he's trying to do. I can see the style of football he's trying to play. Now, we were at home tonight, and I'd actually rather we were at home on Sunday, having to go to Ibrox. You know, Rangers are off the back of travelling from Greece. I don't think that'll make a massive difference, to be honest, because when they played them in the Cup final a few years ago, Rangers had that European Cup final, came back and still won comfortably against us in the final. So I don't read too much into that. But yeah, we have to go there and try and stamp our authority on the game, but it's going to be very difficult. Like I say, our record against Rangers is really not good. And I am concerned with the next 3 games. You know, against Rangers, Celtic and Aberdeen, it's not a great run. The only good thing for me, I suppose, about Celtic and Aberdeen is at Tynecastle. But yeah, I'm not confident for these next 3 games. But hopefully on Sunday, whether we'll maybe rest a couple of players on Sunday after today's game, possibly. But I want to see the same performance as we did in the first half, but for the whole 90 minutes. Because we've not done that this season. And that's a concern for me, that the fitness levels seem to drop a little bit. Like the intensity of the first half today, we didn't carry it on second half. It was the same against Ammonia, but we were 2-0 up in that game. So yeah, we need to sort that out and be better in both halves. But Sunday's going to be difficult, but I can't say I'm confident because our record at Ibrox is so poor.
I suppose another way could look at the game tonight as a game of 2 halves, because Hearts played well in the first half. Should have been 2 up at half time. He got a quick goal in the second half, and I suppose that set the tone for the second half. Hearts lost their way completely, maybe for a wee 10-minute spell, and I think they had a 5-minute spell after that, Hearts, but they weren't peppering the goalkeeper that they were in the first half.
No, that was disappointing. Second half, I can't really think of any saves that our keeper made, which is another big frustration for me. Again, I thought we had a lot of possession. We just didn't do enough with it. You know, the pace that we played that first half, we dropped second half. There's no doubt the goal changes things. Mm-hmm. You know, once Heidenheim get that first goal, it's a case of, here we go again. It's like Kilmarnock all over again. You know, 1-0 up, we then lose the goal and lose the game. It's the same tonight. It's a frustration that we've not taken our chances first half, and then they've been clinical second half. One really good bit of play, they scored the goal, and you could sense the atmosphere changed at Tynecastle. As soon as that goal goes in, the heads drop a little bit. I thought we did come back into it about 10 minutes later. I thought we started to look a bit better. I think the subs made a difference a lot. Definitely was really good when they came on. But we still didn't have that creativity, and I keep going back to Shankland. There's a massive frustration from him just now that he's not scoring. Like that chance he has in the first 2 minutes, Lawrence Shankland last season scores that, but he's snatching at things now. That didn't happen last season, so he needs a goal. He needs something to fall for him and go in. I don't know what's going to happen Sunday. Maybe he gets a goal on Sunday, but it's not happening for him to go for him.
Yeah, I mean, all good strikers go through goal routes, Graham. But as you say, I mean, that can come off his backside. It's his arm maybe, and and that's all you need to get a bit of confidence to get goals. And you never know what could happen on Sunday against Rangers. I was just going to say, Grim, how do you play for Hamilton? And then the next minute you play in the Conference League, Beck. That's a good Scottish name, I think. I thought he was quite decent tonight.
Yeah, I realised who he was about halfway through the game, and I thought, oh, you did play for Hamilton. But yeah, I thought he was decent. I thought Heidenheim were... It's hard to say they weren't great first half, because I think actually Hearts played very well, and I thought we stifled them. Second half, I thought they did show a lot more quality and a bit more zest about them. I think their subs made a massive, massive difference. But yeah, I thought Beck was decent tonight. But, overall, I think Hearts will be very disappointed if they've not taken something out of the game. Even a draw. I'd been disappointed with a draw after that first half. But to lose the game 2-0, I'm sure that Critchlow will be gutted after that. But you've got to give respect to Heidenheim. They've come to Tynecastle, got a 2-0 win. They didn't really deserve it, but they've done it.
And a big support as well, you would say. And that I think that added to the atmosphere tonight, Graham.
It did. It was a sellout tonight. The atmosphere sounded fantastic. And certainly first half it was electric, given how Hearts were playing. And yeah, the Heidenheim fans were certainly up for it. I saw a few pictures before the game of them in town and stuff. There was a lot of them. It was a sellout tonight, which was great to see as well. And it was a very good atmosphere. But yes, of course, the game completely changes once Heidenheim scored. Their fans are up for it. Their players are up for it. And they will go home very, very happy tonight. But I'm just so frustrated.
It's going to be interesting as well. I know we'll speak about the game tomorrow. We'll speak more about the game tomorrow and so. That's difficult for me to see at this time of night. But anyway, it's going to be quite interesting how Hearts is going to bounce back from that kind of like the result tonight. I mean, if they can keep the same performance that they did for 45 minutes and make it 90 minutes and stuff. But again, I think like when you go to Ibrox and Parkhead, I think you've got to raise your game as well. And I think as well that Watson Aberdeen are a week at Parkhead, that we are used to seeing teams sitting in when they come out Parkhead at Ibrox. Aberdeen came out and had a go and then make it a better game. And I think, Hearts would do the same on Sunday because Rangers are not flying in all cylinders at the moment as well.
This is going to sound disrespectful and it's not meant to be. But maybe it's a good thing that Hearts are taking on Rangers on Sunday and not like a Ross County or a Motherwell.
Yeah.
Where it's a game that you're going to have to be up for. Not that I don't think we'll be up for the Ross County and Motherwell, but I think the atmosphere will be different. So it might actually help the fact that we are going to Ibrox on Sunday. We know we have to be up for it. We know we have to be, the intensity's got to be there. So yeah, maybe it might be a good thing for us. Now, I think they will have to show a reaction after tonight. I'm sure they will. And if we can keep the same intensity and the same press we did in the first half today, but like you said, keep it for 90 minutes, then that'll be great. But, I'm not meant to be disrespectful. Maybe it's a good thing we are playing Rangers and not a Motherwell or Ross County.
I think that's a fair point you've made, Glenn, because I think I make a point the other week as well about after the Celtic Borussia Dortmund. I can't remember, but that, if you're going to Ross County, say, on a Sunday afternoon, different atmosphere, different surroundings. But in terms of like going to Ibrox, you're in front of 50,000 hostile fans. A bit like tonight at Tynecastle, only that you'll be facing the Ranger fans, not the Hearts fans, on Sunday. And I think that the tempo of the game will be a bit quicker as well.
Yeah, it will be, and we have to be ready for that. You know, I do think we probably will make a couple of changes. I'd imagine that Kenny Vargas will probably start. I can see us making maybe Cammy Devlin come in from the start. So I think there will be a couple of changes. But it's again, Barry McKay's a strange one because I do like McKay at times, but he doesn't show enough in games. He didn't even get on tonight.
No.
Barry McKay, for me, plays one good game in 10. He's not consistent enough. The quality's there. Said it before about Barry McKay. The quality's definitely there. He can see a pass. He can pick a pass. Sometimes his work rate isn't the best, but I don't see him playing at Ibrox. He's just not. He's not got the work rate for a game like that. And I think when you go to Ibrox, you have to work hard. It's not really Barry McKay's style. I think Barry McKay's better at home against teams like St Johnstone or Motherwell, where we can open teams up a little bit. So yeah, it's going to have to be a very strong performance on Sunday. Now, the one thing again I would say is after this game, it's an international break. Now, normally I'm kind of thinking I can't be bothered with an international break, but actually it's probably come at a good time because since Critchley's come in, he's not really had a lot of time in the training pitch because he came in on the Tuesday. He had the game against St Mirren on the Saturday. He's then had a European game, a game at the weekend, another European game. So he's not really had a lot of time on the training pitch. So maybe the break actually comes at a good time. We can actually get his ideas across in these 2 weeks. And I can already start to see signs of what he's trying to do. Because actually, if I look at the St Mirren game, the game today, first half, and the game against Ammonia, we play some really good football. I've actually quite enjoyed a couple of the games. So if that's what he can do in a short space of time, then once he's actually got proper training session, I think we can only get better. But yeah, Sunday's going to be massive. I would love to take a point now, to be honest. But yeah, we're going to have to be up for it on Sunday. I'm sure we will be, but maybe it's a decent game for us to go into.
I think as well, the 2 decent points you made tonight, Graham, on the show, more than I can say about your team. But I saw a change in the style because if that was a Naismith, you see Hearts every week, right? I only see them when they're on the TV, when they go to Parkhead, when they go to Ibrox, or even a game against Aberdeen or whatever. I go and get to see them every week, but I can see the style in the play because if that was a Naismith team tonight, it would be like, no disrespect, like walking football. As well, and I think like looking back to that first half performance tonight, you're creating more chances than when Naismith was the manager. Have you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean under Naismith it was at times walking football. It was like passing the ball at the back, passing it sideways, passing it back. There was a lot more intensity first half today, a lot more passing through the lines, a bit more pace about us. It was actually enjoyable to watch. Like I said, halftime we were sitting there quite happy. I thought the performance was very good. You know, we did the game against Ammonia, and again, first half I thought we were great. The pressing was really good, the intensity was good, and it was the same again. First half today, I was enjoying it. We just didn't get the goal that we deserved. But yeah, the style of football's definitely changed in a short space of time. I can see that. Even a lot of other Hearts fans can see it as well. There's definitely been a style. And I've heard Critchley talking the last couple of days about wanting to adapt an identity and a way that he wants Hearts to play. I can definitely see that. Now, it is going to take time. Of course it is. But I can definitely see a much more aggressive style of football, which I wanted to see for a long, long time. And I think come January, the one thing that he has to get in that team is pace. And I've said this so many times. We don't have any pace up front. If we can get that, and again, Michael Stewart mentioned that it's almost like he's copied me. If we can get that in the team, then I do think we've got a very good balance of the side, but it just needs that bit more pace up front. Shankly's never been the quickest, but his hold-up play is decent at times, but we need that bit more pace up front. If we get that, then I think we'll be fine. But yeah, these next 3 league games are a very big concern, I can't lie.
And I think as well, Graham, that I hope you don't mind me saying, but when he came in, you were like that. I wouldn't fancy him and stuff. And people on Twitter were saying, "Who's he? I've never heard of him." But I think like football fans are very fickle sometimes because it's not because you are. If you haven't heard of a manager or player, that doesn't mean to say that he's a poor manager. He's a poor player. But in terms of like Critsy, I think that over the next 3 games, and you might be behind the sofa by the way, over the next 3 games, but I think you will see where Hearts are in terms of the level, because I mean you're up against it at the moment. Like, you want to play top 6 football, right? But the next 3 games is against Celtic, Aberdeen, and then Rangers. So you'll get a better kind of indication at the moment. No disrespect to St Mirren and all that, but I guess feel as though that you're going up a level. Is that fair for me to say that, Graham? Because like, you're playing against a better, I wouldn't like to say a better calibre player, but because Robbie will go off his mark, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, the level will definitely go up. There's no doubt about that in these next 3 games. And I'm intrigued to see what we do in these next 3 games. Like I said, I think the fact that 2 of them are at home against Celtic and Aberdeen might help us with intensity. But there is no doubt these next 3 games are going to be very challenging. I mean, if we can take points in these games, that'll be fantastic. We have to get up the league. And the one thing that my concern is that if we don't win these next 3 games, which, given who we're playing against, is very likely, my worry is that the teams around us might start picking up points and get away from us. That can't happen. So I'm intrigued to see what we do in these next 3 games, starting with Sunday. We have to go over tonight very, very quickly. I'm sure we will. But there has to be a lot of positivity taken from today, which sounds daft because we lost the game 2-0. But I think I can look at the positives and say that first half was really good.
I just think we've lost Graham there for a wee minute, maybe. Oh no, he's back now.
Yeah, I was just saying we are creating chances, which is good. We just need to start taking them, and we need to stop conceding at the end. I can't remember. I think we last kept a clean sheet against Ammonia and St Mirren, but we just need to start taking chances at the end. But the performances have definitely been better. And touching on Neil Critchley, yes, when he was appointed, I was critical, thinking I knew who he was because he's been at Liverpool, but I was thinking, is that the best we can get? But to be fair to him, he has done all right so far.
And do you think most of the Hearts fans are buying into him at the moment?
I think, like you said, football fans are fickle. Results definitely change things. But I think a lot of Hearts fans are like me. They can definitely see a style of football. They can definitely see that things have been a lot better. It's just, he can set a team out in the park. He can't take chances. He can't make us defend better. That's up to the players in the park. These players have got to start taking responsibility. I think under Naismith, I think a lot of it was, you look at like Blair Spittler, for example, he wasn't played properly under Stephen Naismith. Since Critchley's come in, he's looked so much better. He's playing further forward. He's playing a lot more aggressively. He's definitely been a change in him. And also, I like the fact that he's bringing in guys like Adam Forrester, a youngster, plays tonight. James Wilson comes off the bench against Hibs and scores. He is giving young players a chance, which is good. And actually, again, Michael Stewart made a really good point, which I didn't actually pick up on at the time. But Hearts started 7 Scottish players tonight, which is very, very good.
Giving to Arino, he said really decent result. Decent result for Rangers, and he says, but I should give no when it comes to Hearts. I think he's having a wee dig at Graham here. I don't know. They usually win. But there you go. But yeah, we'll be going on to talk about Rangers in a minute. But I just wanted to touch upon the subs, Graham. Like, I know I was saying about Baron Mackay. He was a sub as well. But I mean, looking at the bench, it was very strong tonight for Hearts.
It was, and like I say, I thought definitely made a difference when he came on. He got in about, he buzzed about. I didn't think Vargas was great tonight. Oyegoki comes on at right back. I thought he was okay. But the frustration means that second half. We just didn't create enough. And I keep going back to the fact that first half, I'm so disappointed we've not won that game based on the first half, because there should have been 2 or 3 up first half. But I'm really frustrated to be sitting here in the back of a defeat when we should not have lost that game. I think a couple of subs made a massive difference, but again, it just wasn't good enough in the final third of the second half.
There you go then. So it finished Hearts 0, Heck 2 in the conference league. Let's move on to talk about Rangers. That's why Jorsis has come in, and Jorsis like Aaron Hutton tonight. Aaron Hutton disappeared when they spoke about Hearts, but Jorsis here tonight. Josh, how are you?
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. Yeah, good to see you. It's been a while, as well. So, we were just talking about the Hearts game there. What was your take on it, Josh?
On the Hearts game?
On the Hearts game, yeah.
Do you know, I don't even know the score. What was the score?
Right, okay.
You winded me up.
Yeah.
Honestly, mate, I didn't even watch it. I came through. I watched the game at 6:45 in the pub, and then I came home from there and just had a few things to do, so I ended up not watching it. I've not even checked my phone. What was the score?
They get beat 2-0.
Sorry to remind you of that, Graham.
I don't know if Josh was just saying that to wind Graham up, or maybe he was doing it for the effect of the show. But
it's literally on the blue. It's literally on the blue tagline at the bottom.
I've got somebody in my ear shouting, "Can we start the show again?" But no, I'm not going to put you through it, Graham. So Josh, final score to make 1-1. Olympiacos away from home. What would your take away from the game tonight? A very, I would say, decent performance from Rangers, and maybe, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say this just because you know Graham a minute ago. A very surprising performance by Rangers, because of the last few weeks, you would say.
So I agree it was a good performance. I would disagree that it was a surprising performance. It wasn't. We're quite good in Europe. I think when and that's been the case for several seasons. I don't know why that is. There are football historians who study why between 2022 and 2024 Rangers were absolutely brilliant in Europe, but abhorrent in the league and domestically. So I wouldn't say that it was surprising. I thought that we went away, and I think it was a really calm performance. I don't think there was anything particularly concerning, apart from the goal that we conceded. I don't actually think there was a particular chance that Olympiacos got that really had me on tenterhooks. I thought all over the pitch we were pretty good, to be honest. Aside from up top.
Did you not feel as though, a bit like Hearts tonight, but did you not feel as though that Olympiacos goal was against a run of play?
Yeah, I think it probably was against. I mean, given that it was probably the only chance that they really got, I probably would say it was against the run of play. However, Olympiacos, they're obviously a good team, so they can hurt you. And the boy, forgive me, I forget his name, El something. He's a proven goal scorer, and he's got a good goal scoring record in the Greek league. So it wasn't surprising that we conceded. I don't know what John Souttar's doing for the goal. I think he leaves probably about a whole pitch of space in itself to the Olympiacos striker to score, and he manages to get the goal. But we responded really well to that.
Josh, sorry mate, I was going to ask you. The team line comes out before the game, and James Tavernier is not starting. He has taken a lot of stick recently Now, I know that some Rangers fans like him, a lot of fans don't like him. I think the stick that he's got is a little bit unjustified because he has been a very good captain for Rangers. What's your thoughts overall on Tavernier, and were you surprised that he wasn't starting tonight? Because the stick he's gotten, I think, has been a little bit uncalled for at times.
It's been uncalled for over the piece because we know that obviously this isn't the only season that James Tavernier's got a serious amount of stick, right? It's been going on for years and years, and it's never been justified. I would argue probably until now, he hasn't had a great season at all. I wasn't that surprised that he didn't play tonight. We knew that he was probably going to be rested in one of these games, the weekend game or this game. If he gets rested at the weekend game, I will be surprised. I think the thing about him this season, it's probably an accumulation of a lot of different things. I think it's a really easy cop-out to say that he's getting on and he's lost his legs and all that sort of thing. He's not lost his legs in 6 months. He was still at the top of his game 6 months ago towards January, February, March time. So I think it's quite an easy out to say that he's lost his legs, but there's definitely something wrong. And I think he's definitely in a rut at this moment in time. You can see he actually doesn't really look like he's even enjoying his football that much. I think possibly he's maybe regretting, there was possibilities for moves in the summer, and he's actually probably looking at, his own Rangers career fading a bit and starting to think, what, maybe I should have went in the summer. He's probably not liking the relentless stick that he's got for a number of years now, as we're constantly second and behind Celtic, and with that comes the criticism that's due. So there's a number of factors why I don't think he's playing particularly well right now, but let's be clear, he's not having a good season at all. He was always able to make up for his defensive frailties by having an incredible scoring record and being incredibly effective going forward, but he's not even doing that now. So what does he actually give you then? Because he's not got the same energy now. Even coming back defensively, he's very lackadaisical when he's coming back to get back into shape now. He's just jogging back into the shape. He's not getting to that. Right, so his hallmark was getting to that back post, coming late at that back post, and then getting on those crosses for the other side and bang, scoring that goal at that back right post. He's not doing that anymore at all. His crosses, not brilliant. So there's a number of things. I wasn't surprised that he didn't start tonight. I will be surprised if he doesn't start on Sunday either.
The other concern, Josh, before we go on to talk about the game, listening to Philip Clement's comments, and I would be interested in Clement's comments back by you, because I've been watching this press conference for the past, since the beginning of the season, and I know and you know what he's going to say before the actual press conference, because it's just rinse, repeat. But what he was saying yesterday was Tom Lawrence is out the team. He'll be out the team for about 3 to 4 weeks now. Now, I think he's been one of the standout players for Rangers, kind of like this season. But I suppose you would say that thank goodness for the international break, because that would be maybe for only 3 weeks after the international break. But how big a loss would be Lawrence to that team?
I don't think that big a loss. I don't think Lawrence has been a standout. I've not particularly rated him, if I'm honest. I don't think he's been absolutely outstanding all season. He is he's played okay. He hasn't been as good as he looked when he first came in. The very first spell he came in, then he got that long-term injury. So I don't think it'll be that much of a loss. We have number 10s there. We have Bergerami. Diomande played there, but I mean the thing about Diomande is that when he plays in there, it's a slightly different Rangers team. He was okay. I mean, he was good tonight. was going to say he was brilliant. Then actually, I'm just kind of second guessing myself because he wasn't quite as brilliant as Raskin or Barron tonight. We've got Hadji, who's kind of on the kind of throes of making a kind of comeback. You know, he's been allowed back into the team, and he had a his first game back. You know, he got that kind of key pass for the goal, and then he gets sent off, and so you know, we've got Hadji there. We have players that can play in that area. Even an absolute push, Barron can probably play a wee bit further forward. He has done in the past, so it's not a huge loss. Put it this way: if you were to ask me who do I want back sooner than you know, who do I want back sooner? Do I want Tom Lawrence? Do I want Oscar Cortez? Or do I want Ridvan Yilmaz? I want Ridvan Yilmaz and Oscar Cortez back before I want Tom Lawrence back. So, I mean, it's always a loss to lose a player for 46 weeks, but yeah, he will be back in 46 weeks, hopefully. But I mean, that's one of the biggest problems in the Rangers squad right now, is that we've got players whose collectively their legs are made of chocolate.
Talking about chocolate, I was eating chocolate during the game, but you didn't want to know that. But I'm not telling you what chocolate I was eating. Regan, what was your take on the? First of all, what was your take on the Rangers game tonight?
I thought Rangers did well. I thought Dessers should have probably had another few goals, but I thought Rangers dug in and did well, aye. And it was a very good point for them.
Josh, it must be concerning for a Rangers fan, or it must be frustrating that Dessers is missing so many chances back. I'll back that comment up and say it would be more concerning if he wasn't getting into the positions.
He's an enigma, Cyril Dessers. He really is. He's one of the most bizarre players, one of the most bizarre footballers that I ever remember playing for Rangers. That tonight he will miss a glaring chance. One of them, actually a couple of glaring chances. One of them probably would have been called offside anyway. However, he still missed it. And then there was the other one, and then you think, right, well, he's terrible. He's having one of those nights, and then he gets that pass from Czerny. You know, sends the Greek defender for a bowl of feta cheese, and then takes it by him, and it's an incredible finish as well, cross goal. So he's capable of that, and that's the confusing thing, I suppose, is that he's capable of that on a occasional basis. I think one of the things about Cyril Dessers is that one of my friends was saying tonight that I think he thinks Cyril Dessers thinks he's better than he is. I actually think the opposite. I think Cyril Dessers is better than he thinks he is. And I think he overplays things and he overthinks things far too often. And as a result of that, it's just, the other thing about him is that he's clearly not a good target man striker, despite having the build and the physique, and you would expect him to be a kind of hold-up play striker. He's clearly not that. He's clearly a penalty box striker, somebody that likes to play in the box, or behind the line. He's clearly not somebody that likes to play with his back to goal. But that makes it difficult, because it seems that that's the kind of football that Philippe Clement wants to play. Wants to play football where he has a striker that does a lot of running, and that's not what Cyril Dessers is good at. He's not really good at holding up the play or chasing lost balls. He's quite good. He's actually quite a good finisher and quite a good instinctual striker. So it's it's really frustrating. But I mean, the thing is, the problem is that he's probably the only show in town right now, is because Igamam is probably not there yet in terms of being a top class striker. And Derilo's still coming back from a long term injury. So, but like a Lumpet, Cyril Dessers is going to be is going to be the man for well, at least for. I don't know what's happening with Danilo, if he's going to play this weekend or not. But Cyril Dessers is obviously going to be a mainstay for the coming weeks and months anyway.
Talk to me about Cherney, Josh, because I quite like watching them when I watch the Rangers games. Good ball to Dessers, and obviously we know what happened next as well. But he had a few shots tonight. I quite enjoy watching him.
He's slowly built his way into the team. He had that press conference after missing those two chances, and he's against Leon. I think it was Leon. He had that press conference, and he really seems like he wears his heart on his sleeve. And since then, he's been really good. Regularly contributed again tonight. Regularly contributing with goals and assists. He is been slowly building himself up into this team. He comes in on his stronger left foot. He's a really good. He's a really good striker. Striker. He's a really good winger that can come infield and play. I don't know how effective he is when I don't know how effective he is when he's actually getting to the byline. However, he's probably the archetype of your inside forward type winger. Somebody that can come in and get involved in that kind of space between the midfield and defence and try to cause a bit of chaos. So yeah, I really like him. And I mean, hopefully he can continue with the kind of numbers he's going right now, because he is probably one of the only bright lights for Rangers right now. The only bright lights for Rangers really are Connor Barron, Václav Černý, John Souttar, probably Hefty, and probably Raskin in recent weeks anyway.
Now that the press has been on for Philip Clement, I would say, since last season, and also this season as well. And your benchmark is obviously Celtic in European games as well, and possibly Aberdeen this season. But over the piece of the last two games, Rangers has performed quite decent. Decent second half on Sunday against Motherwell. I would say decent 90 minutes tonight. I don't know if you want to argue that with me, with Josh, but do you feel as though the fans are still on Clement's back, or do you think they'll ease off after these kind of like two performances, or is it a case of game by game?
Yeah, game by game. Look, if Philippe Clement puts a run together, the fans will start to come off his back, but the suspicion will still be there. The fans, I think there's a broad recognition from the fans that that Philippe Clement is a problem. Philippe Clement is on thin ice, you would say. However, there's also probably a recognition for the fans that there's far bigger problems at the club in addition to Philippe Clement. So, things in the boardroom, things in the recruitment side, things in the youth setup. There's all sorts of problems at the club right now, and Philippe Clement arguably now, while things have not been great domestically, and while some of the things he said in the press conference have been a bit ridiculous, he's probably one of the only factors at the club holding the team together at this minute in time, and it would be ridiculous to get rid of him right now.
I was going to say as well that just before we go back to the game, do you feel as though Philip Clement's been hung out to dry a wee bit in terms of he's been put up every week you know, he's got to do that anyway to face the media as well. But do you feel as though that he's been trying to hold the club together with a bit of sellotape, and you know, it's people like, you know, people behind him in the football department's not helping him any?
I don't know if he's been hung out to dry, because he has had money. Where I mean, he's obviously, I mean, it's blindingly obvious that he's been brought in, and the agreement has been that, look, the club needs to start living within its means to an extent, and it needs to transition to this player trading model, and you can see that that's what Philippe Clement and Nils Koppen have been trying to do. They have been reducing wages significantly, so the wage budget has dropped significantly in the past year. We have brought in a lot of younger players who you would what we're hoping might be valuable assets in future. So boys like Igamam, Hefty, the boy in Seala, you know, that there are a number of players in there, in addition to players that were there prior to Clement, that I think we're really hoping that longer term can be it can be of value to the club, and hopefully bring in some of the money that we're not going to get through consistent results in Europe, right? Because we can't constantly keep reaching knockout stages or Europa League finals.
Regan?
I think Rangers just need to stick with the manager and try and back him as much as possible. I think like it's easy just to like sack the manager, but I think in terms of the squad, like all you guys have spoke about, the squad's not going to change this season. So it's about them trying to get better, and obviously these few results that they've got now, hopefully will take the pressure off. I'm sure we'll get on to it tomorrow, but Rangers have got a big match on Sunday against Graham's team as well. So no, it's just about trying to win as many games as possible.
Yeah, and that's, I suppose, for me, that's the thing is that tonight was completely predictable, and then on Sunday it'll probably be back to domestic draws.
And I suppose, Josh, that I was saying to you about the Motherwell performance in the second half and tonight's performance, 90 minutes, I would say, because I've always said this to Graham and Regan on the show. Now, I can't remember when Rangers actually put a decent 90-minute performance together. It must have been, you know, maybe Hearts and maybe Ross County. Maybe you want to disagree with me with that point. But tonight was one of these kind of 90-minute performance, especially you know, Olympiacos, especially away from home in that hostile atmosphere. But I was asking you about Philippe Clement as well, but I feel as though that when Rangers go away from home and reach in the cup final, it's only got to breed confidence in the squad as well.
Yeah, it was a good result against. Well, from being 1-0 down, it was a good result against Motherwell. But he made changes, and the changes really did make a difference in the game. Which is why I'm saying it'll be interesting to see if who starts against Hearts on Sunday. So whether Dujon Sterling plays on Sunday, or whether Danilo has a role to play in the game on Sunday. It will be interesting. I think the team will broadly be the same in terms of the midfield and the defence, but there'll be a question about right back. There'll be a question about striker, and I mean, there's big questions. It's a bit of a lottery supporting Rangers right now. You don't really know what kind of team's going to rock up and play, and that's what teams love domestically in the Scottish Premiership, because when teams domestically, when they rock up against Celtic, they know that they're going to find it really difficult, and that the chances are they're probably going to lose. But I think right now teams are coming up against Rangers, and they think, do you know what? If we go about our business in a correct way here today, we could get a result. And we're because Rangers are a bit of a soft touch right now. So I would love to say that I'm looking forward to Sunday, but I'd be lying.
Are you going to the game, Josh? Or
This Sunday? No, I'm not going. No, I'll be going this Sunday.
Yeah. What were you expecting tonight? I know it's either said and done after the game and all that, but what were you expecting off of Rangers, especially away from home? And obviously the last few weeks has not been kind of stable, you would say.
Well, I mean, it's like I said before. What was I expecting away from home? I was expecting a European Rangers European performance. I was fully expecting us to go into that game and get a result tonight. We did. I fancy us in Europe every single game. Against Lyon, I'll fancy us against Tottenham. I'll fancy us against Man U because we're just really good in Europe.
Why do you think that is, Josh? Why do you think that they can't get up to speed when you're playing the likes of Ross County and all that, especially if you want to win the league every season, but you're playing better in Europe? Do you think it's the system Clermont's playing, or do you think it's...
There's not as much pressure, I don't think, in Europe.
Yeah, I mean that's an important aspect. There's also the football side of it. You know, who you're playing and how you're playing them, right? So teams domestically know how to play against Rangers. They know to sit in, bank in with a back, six or a back, whatever, play that low block, and we find it really, really difficult to break down. I mean, incidentally, Michael, we can live with the Ross Counties because we pumped Ross County 6-0, right? However, I appreciate the sentiment, right? We struggle against the St. Mirren's and the Hearts.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, right? That was the first team that came into my head there, right? But you know what I mean by that.
I think it's a football thing and it's a domestic thing. There is a mentality. I've said it for a while. There is a mentality that has seeped into the club, and it's not. I don't think it's into the. I don't know where it originates from, because it can't be originating for the players, because the players have changed 2 or 3 times now and wholesale. It's not the same team that was under Gio. It's not the same team that was under Michael Beale. It's now Philippe Clement's team. There's a lot of new players, and they are still dealing with the same issues of anxiety. And the same issues of not taking your moment. So that moment a few weeks ago where Celtic and Aberdeen drew, we needed to win the next day. We needed to close the gap. But for some inexplicable reason, we just when we get to those moments, we just can't seem to be brave, and we can't seem to seize the moment, and I don't know what the answer is. If I knew what the answer is, I would phone Ibrox tomorrow and ask to speak to Philippe Clement and give him the secret.
Regan, do you think that Rangers is going to take a bit of confidence by that? But it's all right going away from home, getting a decent point, but how are they going to bounce back on Sunday? By the way, I need to watch what I'm seeing here, because I've just realised that I was going to say how are they going to bounce back against Hearts, but you've got the Hearts man on the left-hand side of my screen. So,
I feel I know what to expect. Our record at Ibrox, I've said it before, is pitiful. No matter how bad Rangers are, we turn up at Ibrox and get hammered. So I'm expecting nothing different, to be honest.
I hope it's the same as Sunday.
I think you played. I think I think they played well today at Tynecastle, Graham. Apart from probably the last 20 minutes, I thought they were playing really well. I thought they were very unfortunate to go behind. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on the game, but I felt you played really well. So obviously Hearts could take that into Sunday, but I probably do expect Rangers to win by the odd goal, probably 2-1 or something like that. But I still think it'll be a hard match because, like Josh was saying earlier, the Rangers don't really deal well with 10 men behind the ball, kind of trying to make sure that the opposition don't score. But I think it'll be an interesting game, and I think Rangers doing well in Europe surely should be able to do great things for them in Scotland as well, because hopefully from a Rangers point of view, they can try and take some pressure away from the manager as well.
There you go. Thanks for all your comments. It's been a quick hour tonight, as always. It's been a mixed emotions week for the Scottish clubs in Europe. Celtic kick off, and Hearts finished disappointingly tonight, even though they should have won out of sight in the first half. And Rangers got a decent point away from home. Thanks to all your comments. Thanks to Josh, Regan and Graham, and we'll be doing it all over again tomorrow. And don't forget, we'll be here for the Scotland games, and we'll be doing a show in a few weeks' time where we'll have the guys on from the Behind the Whistle podcast. So Graham can't wait because we're going to be speaking about VAR again. Wow, can't wait. So I might phone in sick that day. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.